I know I've mentioned in other videos that I'm former law enforcement, retired now for a number of years. I did spend 38 years in law enforcement, working for 2 different departments. And for almost that entire career, I carried a backup gun. And that backup gun was this Smith & Wesson Model 38. A little history behind this, and we want to talk about it, and we'll even shoot it a little. When I first started in law enforcement, we were carrying revolvers, and it was just natural to carry a revolver as a backup gun. I started out carrying a Model 10 Smith & Wesson, then a Model 19, then a Model 66, and even carried a 6-inch Model 66 when I was working motors. Didn't have to worry about the length of the barrel interfering with the car seat. Ended up carrying a 5.86, which we did a video on. Still one of my favorite guns, and we'll post that up here somewhere. Even when we switched to the Glock, I was on the job for about 14 years when we finally switched to the Glock pistol, and I still carry this little Model 38 as a backup. Again, Model 38 is also a 38 caliber, and this is a little airweight gun. It has a shrouded hammer, but as you can see, you can still reach the hammer on it and still cock this gun if you ever want to fire single action, although I can't recall ever firing this thing single action, certainly not in a defensive situation. You can see that it does have a number of battle scars on it. There are certainly marks on the shroud here, banging around normally in the back pocket. However, all of my motorcycle britches I had built with a special pocket sewn in the right front. So if I approached a car, I didn't want to have my hand on my gun, but I could have my hand on this gun in the pocket most of the way out and actually get just a slightly faster draw if I ever needed to. And again, that's going to be bad breath distance. 5 shots out of this, dump the gun, and go back to the my service revolver if I ever had to. Plain old wooden grips on it. Again, this is old vintage. This is from early 70s. I still have the box this came in, and it was $104 back then. Brand new. Still works. It's got a serrated trigger and not much the way of sights, which we'll talk about just in a couple of minutes, but I want to shoot this thing at 12 yards. Make sure it still works. So when I carried this as a backup, most of the time I carried Winchester Western 125 grain silver tip ammo in this. I'm sure over the course of 38 years I carried other stuff, particularly in the early years, pretty much whatever the department had available. So I'm going to put 5 shots of the 125 grain silver tips, reload, and follow with 5 shots of the Federal 130 grain full metal jacket, just to see if it will in fact still work. So, silver tips first. Can I get the plates? Boy, the sights are just, I don't remember them being this bad. And it looks like I missed number 4. So let's go back and see if I can do them again. Start right to left this time. Gun does not have a full length extraction on it, so you do have to pull the cases out. You can see that there's a fair amount of case still sticking out there, but with a 2-inch barrel, kind of hard to get much in the way of an extractor on there and still have a place for the extractor to lock up under the barrel. Alright, it works. You know, again, I'm not a big fan of that serrated trigger. A little bit of shooting, it's fine, very much of it, and I remember I had to qualify this with this gun as an off-duty gun also, and doing the full qualification course, eventually started wearing on the finger. We're going to take it over to 25, and I don't know if I'm going to try that. Well, yeah, I'm going to try it at 50. Right now we're going to take it over to 25 and see what happens. One of the standard rounds back in the day was just plain old 158 grain round nose lead ammunition. That's exactly what this is, Federal. I used this quite a bit, and this ammunition quite a bit in distinguished competition, so I've still got a little bit of it left. We'll start out with 5, and the big question is, can I hit anything at 25 yards? You know, I've never shot this gun at 25 yards as far as I know. So I'm going to start with the raccoon, far right side. Alright, got the raccoon. I'm going to go for the red woodchuck between the 2 silhouettes. Alright, took a couple shots to get him. So I think I got, what, 1 shot left? Let's do the 12-inch over there on the left, that black one with the white center. Alright, that's the 158 grain. I got some 158 grain extreme jacketed or plated rounds that I'm going to try. And let's see if we can hit the crow next to the raccoon there. Looks like it's stanchion right above or below. Okay. There we go. Let's see. What haven't I gotten? Let's do the, can I do the standing prairie dog? He's a real skinny target there. The answer is so far no. Got him. Alright. 10-inch to the left of the red silhouette. And that last one's not going to fire. It's got, I think I got Federal primers in there. Let me check. Stand corrected, those are CCI primers, which are always a little bit hard. This gun is well worn. It's not going to fire that one round with the CCI primer. One more time. There we go. Got it off. And it didn't hit anything, but we got it off. All right. Kind of sketchy at 25. Let's try it at 50. The sights on this are absolutely terrible. Just a really shallow, typical Smith & Wesson, shallow rear notch, a blade front that I did paint red, actually probably fingernail polish red on there, and that red's been on there for quite a while, but makes for a very interesting and difficult sight picture. Not meant for anything beyond bad breath distance. All right, some more of my 158 grain extreme plated bullets, CCI primers, and I know, why shoot at 50, but you know, you watch this channel long enough. I hope you have, and if you haven't, make sure you subscribe, click on notifications, continue to watch my videos. A good thing to binge on sometime when you got a few minutes, or a few hours, or a few days to kill. But you know, it's my range, I like to shoot at 50 yards. All right, silver gong on the left. CCI primers are hard. Alright, it almost took a half a day to get there. You could hear the delay between the time it went off and the time I could hear the sound coming back. That's two. Okay, can I do the 16-inch high right? These CCI primers are tough. Lots of dry practice. All right, let's get those. Not hitting those primers really hard. Let's try a different 5. See what I can get here at 50. And if this doesn't work, maybe I have to give up on it. All right, I'm back to the 16-inch. It's in the shadows because it's late afternoon, but let's give it a try. Alright, that's the last one that's going to go. So, other than the fact that CCI primers, now again, this gun's had a lot of trigger time through it, dry practice and qualifications for many, many, many years. So, spring maybe weakened up just a little bit. But Smith & Wesson Model 38, they still, you can still find these things. It's been replaced by, I think, the 638 or something. There are a couple other hammerless type guns in the catalog. You can still find these every now and then. Getting a little pricey, certainly more than the $104 I paid for it, but it served me extremely well as a good companion for the better part of 38 years. Smith Model 38. Thanks for stopping in while we take a trip down memory lane.